Okay, it's Tuesday, Coast to Coast with Arash Madani. Arash, guess what the hottest topic in Saskatchewan is today?
Well, a preseason game has been played, so I'm assuming it's one of the following. Either the backup quarterback is ready to take over for Trevor Harris, or the backup quarterback stunk the joint out and it's panic time because what happens if Trevor goes down?
You are correct with two, sir. Yes, your second guess. Yeah. It's preseason, and the preseason schedule, especially for the Riders, and then when they play, it's so weird this year. Like the gap that they have, they fire in Calgary yesterday, holiday Monday, then they come back and play this week. Then they're off till like middle of June, basically. It's weird.
Well, and look, I don't care if you light it up and put together a Peyton Manning type performance in the preseason, or if you stink the joint out. It's the preseason. The players that you are going up against, half of them are not going to be on the roster on your team, nor are they going to be on the roster on the opponent's team. The plays that are being called are designed to provide evaluation for everybody on the field, not just the quarterback. And Barney, I was just like, while we were talking, I remember, like think about some of the great quarterbacks that have come through this league. Unfortunately, we don't have, game by game stats going back to the preseason. But our friend Trevor Harris, I believe, between 2012 and 2016, didn't even take a CFL snap. Travis Lulay, on his way to the Hall of Fame, he did not have a plus TD to interception ratio until his third year in the CFL in 2011, and he was the MOP that year. Like, these things don't just happen. It takes a while. So, and to use the first preseason game as any kind of evaluation, just pump the brakes. I know everyone's excited, but let's just pump the brakes.
Okay. Arash says we don't have to worry about Jack Cohn and anoint
not right now.
Anoint
not on
Braden
May 19th.
Shager pushing Harris. Details at 11. Okay, what's you mentioned this in our pre-meeting. NFL trophy. Take me through this involving a Canadian.
It's not involving a Canadian, Barney.
Oh.
It's Jaxon Smith-Njigba, JSN of the Seahawks, was named the Offensive Player of the Year in the NFL. He couldn't go to the ceremony because it was like, the night before, 2 nights before the Super Bowl, right? So JSN's in his hotel. He's being a good boy. And then comes the FedEx package in the mail. And Colson, why don't we roll this? If you zoom in, It says 2025 Defensive Player of the Year. And the year doesn't even have a gap between the and year. So you have a typo.
I'm kidding.
The American version. And
Jeez.
That night at the honors, they even mispronounced Jaxon Smith-Njigba's name. He's like, at some point here, am I supposed to take this personally? Like, what's the deal? So now look, and I want to be clear about this. If this happened to the most outstanding Canadian or the MOP or the top O lineman a Grey Cup week, everybody would be saying, only in the CFL would this happen. Here is the most successful league, a $300 billion league, and they still have an issue with the space bar, and they still have an issue deciphering offensive and defensive. When you get what you pay for, and when you put entry-level people in charge of things like these, that's what happens.
Have you gotten word on how this happened at all from anybody?
No, just people not paying attention, Barney, and I'm sure they were, just amazing.
Good
Just
point,
amazing.
though. If this would have happened in the CFL, it would have been like, oh, yeah, what Bush, this is it. But there it is right there. That's actually really hard to believe. Very interesting.
I was listening. Howie Roseman was on the Rich Eisen show, and he was talking about how on the draft, they still, before they actually announce the pick, they make sure to call the player. In part for that moment, for the player and the family. But like when you get in the 5th round, 6th round, whatever, he's like, you just need to make sure the guy is alive. Nobody wants to be the team that drafts a dude who, oh, by the way, he didn't wake up this morning, or he was in an accident, over the weekend.
Oh, wow.
I know that happened to the Ottawa Roughriders back in the day. They drafted a dead guy. So nobody in the NFL wants that to happen.
Yeah. Let's go to hockey here. Well, kind of. I want to ask you, is there a more devastated, starving, desperate fan base city than Buffalo, New York, with their hockey team and then obviously their football team? They're two pro sports.
It took forever. It took forever for the Sabres to get here. And I'm not saying that Buffalo fans are content. Like, it's just like, yeah, they got their heart ripped out, but they're finally back in the arena. They're finally back in the dance. It had taken so long. And this doesn't feel like a one-off. Now, you never know what's going to happen, but Darlene and Thompson and the core and the nucleus and the fact that they're playing a Game 7 at home in round 2 of the playoffs, you don't pick up where you left off, but at least finally it feels like there's a direction and a hope for this hockey team. But man, between Buffalo and Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul, I don't know if there's 2 more star-crossed markets. The T-Wolves can't do it. The Wild can't do it. The Twins are a mess. And don't even get me started on the Vikings. So it's remarkable in those 2 markets kind of what's happened sports-wise.
Yeah. I go Buffalo, and then although the Red Wings had their heyday, I'm like Detroit with the Lions, the Tigers.
Pistons have won, though. Pistons have won.
When did they win? It's a while ago, wasn't it?
It was a while ago. I want to say 2003, the Chauncey Billups era.
Yeah. I forgot about those guys. Okay, let's play the game here. I said it earlier on the show. Guess what on the secondary market, the get-in price for Game 3 in Montreal is right now?
Oof.
One ticket.
Single, upstairs. What night of the week is it going to be?
A Monday. Does that matter, do you think?
Well, I think if it was a Thursday or a Saturday, it would jack it more.
Okay. One ticket. You're up there with God, near the top.
I'm gonna go 500.
Oh, nobody. I think for 500, I might be looking at flights. Right now, $917. Yeah. You want a good seat? Just a one seat, maybe a nice. I like sitting in the corner. I don't know where you. I like this. I get center ice is nice. I like lower bowl corner, but I'll go center ice for you. $2,174.
How about that?
And for some people, that's chump change, though. Like
sure.
Or company cards, spending feverishly. And then it comes back to roost about a year later. Hey, we need to cut.
So here's a little problem that I'm not sure if the Carolina Hurricanes have been able to sort out or the Montreal Canadiens have been able to sort out. It's F1 weekend in Montreal this weekend.
Oh,
so if
wow.
the Hurricanes plan to practice and fly on Sunday, with your NHLPA mandated to be in the other team's city the night before, where is everybody going to stay? It's the busiest weekend of the year. I know a lot of F1 teams like pick up and leave, so maybe by Sunday they're checking out, etc. I had wondered if they'd move Game 3 to Tuesday just for that, but I guess that mucks up the TV situation. But that's going to be a weird one from a hotel standpoint, because the weekend, it's a good thing the Habs don't have home ice in this series, because imagine Thursday, Saturday, it'd be a gong show trying to get places to stay in Montreal for it.
That is a great point. And I've never been to F1 Montreal. I know people that have had. And it's amazing. It's something else. Just the atmosphere, just the parties, everything like that. Okay, here we go. Then get in price at, I don't even know what this facility is called. PNC Arena, or formerly PNC Arena, now the Lenovo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. Yeah. $310 upstairs. Canadian.
US. Interesting.
Nope, that's Canadian. Canadiano. It's not bad.
Wow.
So there'll be a lot of Montreal people heading down. Nothing wrong with Raleigh either, I heard.
Yeah, I got a good Raleigh story for you, by the way.
Let's go.
So years ago, have a Sunday afternoon game in Raleigh, Sunday evening game in Raleigh. Rick Ball was the play-by-play guy. I can't remember who the color analyst was going to be. It was Flames Hurricanes. Well, doesn't a huge ice storm hit on the Saturday? And the night before the game, the Saturday afternoon, there was a North Carolina State and NCAA basketball game. The CBS crew is snowed in. So we're all down the lobby bar. Ourselves, like the Sportsnet crew, Bob Hartley was the head coach of the Calgary Flames. Hartley's down in the lobby with us, the Flames PR guy, Sean Kelso. And here's the CBS crew, Greg Gumbel, Bill Raftery. And Raftery comes over and he's like, who the hell are you guys that we're the only two people stuck, two groups of people stuck in an ice storm? Oh, you're the head coach. Raft used to be a coach. Hey, coach, how's your season going? Raft, we're around 500. Beats a kick in the ass. And Raftery just sat with us, telling stories, having a blast. That's my memory of Raleigh, North Carolina.
Nice. As far as the Habs go as a team, Dobish in net. What's your take on him?
Sometimes, Barney, and I find this has become kind of like chip on his shoulder. I find that's the new kind of new cliche. Lightning in a bottle is also right there.
Yeah.
Doesn't this just feel like lightning in a bottle right now? Doesn't this just feel like the kind of run out of nowhere that you see some goaltenders go on? And of course, everyone's just going to compare this to the Patrick Waugh run of 86 and 93 because of Montreal. But what impresses me most about this kid is that he can get run out of the gym like he did earlier in the series, late in the series, but earlier in the series, and it didn't faze him. And the Sabres come back and tie it, and it didn't faze him. And to give up just 2 goals in that game, to do what he did with those stakes on the road as they keep coming, it's just something else.
Hey, quickly, what's funny? I was listening to, I don't know what show it was on the weekend because it was leaked. And I think not since 2017 or something like that, has an American-born player won the NBA MVP. And again, we got Canadian going back to back.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does it again. I mean, Barney, back-to-back years averaging better than 30 points a game. The last guy to do it, repeat as an MVP, was Giannis. And it's an incredible story of a dude who's just can do it all. Like, he has put this franchise on his back. He's made Oklahoma City the destination for basketball. Finals MVP, 2-time regular season MVP, already an NBA champion. And we're talking about a young man who's only 27 years old. And when the game's on the line, Shai's not giving it up. He just continues to deliver. It's an amazing thing, an amazing feat The things that are so rarely done in sport are now being accomplished by this kid from Hamilton.
Is San Antonio going to beat him, though, now? They won game one?
And they might. I watched that last night. Double OT. Wembanyama is just something else. He hit a 3 from the parking lot last night that just absolutely changed things. They were down 3, under a half minute to go in OT, and from basically the logo, Wemby just knocked down a triple that ended up sending it to double OT. Watch out. This is going to be the rivalry in the NBA for years to come. Two of the youngest rosters on the team, in the league, rather, two megastars in the league, and game one lived up to all of it. Give me 7 of these, Barney. I'll take 7 of these anytime.
Yeah, you know what? I've gotten right into NBA basketball with a really good final. I might end up getting into this one too, just for the theater and just everything around it, and obviously sprinkle a bit too. I think I was watching something last week though. It was on social media, and it had it was like an exhibit somewhere, and it was like it was Steve Nash shooting a 3, and then it was Dirk shooting a 3, and you could like jump up and see if you could touch the ball, and then the last one was Wembanyama, and this guy that was doing it had hops too, like he could jump, because he's like, isn't he like 7 foot something?
Yeah, he's 7 foot something, and he's so long.
7'5"
and
7'4".
Yes,
I'm pretty sure he's like 7'7".
And athletic, 7'5", I believe. But you talk about height, agility, skill, ability to shoot the ball, ability to move, ability to redirect. The dude had over 20 rebounds last night. I mean, it's just the biggest thing for him, though, Barney, at that size, you've got to stay healthy. Because if the hip, the adductor, the groin, etc. go, then it's a problem. But if they can keep this kid upright, healthy, ready to rock, we have another major superstar on our hands, and another problem for USA basketball when it comes to MVPs.
Did you get how tall he was, Colson?
He's listed 7'4", but that was his draft height in 2023. And he's 22, so there's a good chance he's grown, and he's probably 7'6".
He's doing that stretching technique at the gym. I see people do all the time.
That stretch thing?
You remember?
You don't have all the bands?
We're the same vintage. Do you remember looking through the Guinness Book of World Records in like your elementary school back in the day, and it had I don't know if I can use the word fat, but biggest people, and it was those 2 twins on motorcycles, and then it was always the tallest person in the world. It was like a guy from Mozambique, and he was like 8 feet. But now, like, these basketball players are right there. And I think they can live longer.
My favorite photo is the one of Andre the Giant with a Molson Canadian beer can in his hand.
Or the one that he's on the plane. You can pull that one up, Colson. If people are watching the stream, Andre Giant on an airplane. I don't know how fast you can. Yeah, the Molson Canadian one. And then another classic was... because
it looks like a marble in his hand, a Molson Canadian can in Andre the Giant's hand.
Who was the actor from Different Strokes? The little fella.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Andre the Giant on the plane. People
Gary
watching
Coleman?
the stream.
Oh, there it is.
That is But this is what Percy Lewis IV would have looked like flying into Saskatoon for the Rider Camp. Exactly this. I should have brought this up when he was still with the team. Gary Coleman and Mark Messier in the locker room. That picture from the 80s that surfaces once in a while.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. All right.
Andre the Giant.
Okay. Good stuff. Tuesday we'll regroup. Thursday we'll have lots of NHL, I'm sure, there and then we'll see what else pops up. CFL. Travel safe, my friend.
All right, bud. Thanks, Barney.